Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today you find me out on Harting Down, just grabbing a bit of lunch whilst I prepare for my walk. We've been to Harting Down before. There's a hill fort over at Harting Down, and we're just looking out over Harting village and some combine harvesters harvesting all of the wheat. Fantastic views from here and a really lovely place to sit and have your lunch. Next we're going to be heading off in this direction to a tower that has a link with America. So where I ate my lunch behind me is the car park for Harting Down. It's a National Trust car park, so if you're a National Trust member it's free parking. For everybody else it's £3 a day. Now we're going to be following the South Downs way onto the tower. So I actually parked down there on the side road for free, and there's a space for about 3 cars down there. Channel's still not monetized, so yeah, finances are tough in a cost of living crisis. Lovely road if you do get the opportunity to drive this one. Just going to follow the South Downs way in this direction. So I've headed down this little tree-lined pathway. Loads of wildflowers out at the moment, so it's a beautiful little walk, but a little bit unsteady. So if you're not good on your feet, probably not for you. And then we've come to this sty, and the tower we want to go to is up there, I believe. So absolutely stunning views when we get to the top, and you won't be able to see it on camera, but about there, got a chinook flying across. You can, again, probably won't be able to pick it up on the mic, but I can hear the thumping of the double props in the distance. This little hill here really intrigues me. Matches the profile of a lot of the old hill forts. You've got this copse of trees right on the top of the hill, but that's not what we've come to see. We are headed in that direction. This is Lady Hamilton's Tower, also known as Vandailan Tower, named after the land of Vadalia. But you've probably not heard of Vadalia, and Vadalia was a British colony in America. So back in the 1700s we were settling America, and there was fierce competition between the Spanish, the French, and probably of Germans, I think, were going over there as well. So all of these nations were headed over to America to plunder it for its fine minerals and resources, and also to escape the overreach of the aristocracy over in Europe. Vandalia was one of these colonies. British never made it, unfortunately, but they did at the time think it was going to make it, otherwise they wouldn't have built this wonderful tower. If we spin round in that direction, you can see it's located right on the top of a hill. So fantastic views. So this is a scheduled monument, so there is no access for the general public, and the reason it looks the way that it looks now is that it was burnt down in a fire in 1842. This looks like the entrance to the monument, but good luck if you can get through there to get to that once you've scaled the barbed wire. So why did I call it Lady Hamilton's Tower? Well, Lady Hamilton used to wait in this tower and look out over the seas, which probably are being obscured by all of these trees right now. and we seem to have an orientation where this window is looking in that direction. So yeah, she was looking out, waiting for Nelson to arrive, and not sure how high it was. Obviously, it looks higher than it is now. There looks like there's some obviously bits missing there, but I don't know what it looked like before the fire. But interesting to see in this panel here. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you can see where it was painted. So it's almost the same colour as Telegraph House that we visited, which is located over there. Telegraph House is in one of these trees here, and located again on the ridge line looking out over the coast. And this formation that you're seeing here is hearting down the site of an old hill fort. And quite possibly this could be a location of a hill fort, because obviously a tower's been built there now, so don't know what was there thousands of years before. Certainly on the way up there was terracing going on, indicating that it might have been some kind of ancient people or prehistoric people in this area. And we know from Harting Down, that being a prehistoric hill fort as well, they were in this location, so it'd be unusual for them not to occupy this hilltop as well. You can also see, probably from a public safety point of view, the structure has been made safe in 1982, but probably all that consisted of was putting some of these reinforcement bars here to try and stop the arches from opening up. Doesn't look like there's any kind of active restoration going on, and I think it's probably past restoration. But this tower is one of two towers, twin towers, some might say, because this was made by or designed by the architect Henry Keene. And Henry Keene also designed parts of Westminster Abbey and the London Museum, and he built another tower. Some actually say it might have been his son that built the other tower, but at the time his son was only 18, so the likelihood is that albeit his son took credit for the other tower, it was probably Henry Keene himself that came up with the design, and they were both being built at approximately the same time. So some of you might be asking, what was this tower on the top of a hill? And if you're not familiar with this type of building, it's called a folly, and these were extremely popular in the 1700s and 1800s. These comes from the derivement of building something essentially for the sake of it, because you can, essentially. So these were show-off pieces. So if you were very, very wealthy, which I think the man that commissioned it was Sir Fordyce or something like that, who owned all of this land at the time, and yeah, had plenty of money to spend from farming all of these fields, then they would compete a bit like modern day A-listers will compete with their mansions and things like that and their flash sports cars. Well, back in the 1800s, as much as they had carriages and fine houses, a folly was a way of showing off to your friends and family. So this is the second tower of Henry Keene, and this is the one that's said to have been designed and built by Henry Keene's son Theodosius at the age of 18. So this monument was built at the same time as Vandailan Tower, and late 1700s, and like Vandailan Tower, it's a folly, this time built for a different customer. I think it was the Earl of Halifax. So this folly comes with a bit of a backstory to it, because it's supposed that this folly is haunted, and people often come up here to stay here at night and to see if there's any ghosts. I think the reason for this is that we're very isolated where we are. We sort of turn and pan around. There's very little people around here, so if you wanted to carry out some occult ceremonies, you probably people wouldn't notice, other than maybe a light inside one of the openings if you've got a fire lit. So yeah, some stories about it. I did try to visit it myself for this video. Parked down in the village and walked up. There's where these trees are, there's a ridge line that you walk along, but when I actually got to the monument, there's a big sign saying private property, trespassers keep out. I did have a look. There was it wasn't fenced off, so technically if I did go in there I wouldn't have been breaking and entering, but having the backstory of some of the occult goings on, also in the village outside the church, there's some signs saying thieves in the area, park at your own risk. It's not it doesn't feel like a particularly safe area. Yeah, we're not going to try and get in there. If people have given us a warning to keep out, it's probably advisable to keep out. So I hope you've enjoyed this video on the Twin Towers of West Sussex, and if you could hit the like and subscribe button, it will help me to make more videos just like this.